All right, let's just settle. For those of you who've just been in the 1.5 hour marathon death meditations, just resettle yourself. In fact, this was probably a perfect ending for your evening to do Vajrasattva after that. So let's just settle. Check your feet about a hip's width apart for those of you who are at your desk. Shoulders are aligned with the hips, ears align with the shoulders. And imagine your spine is a beautiful string of pearls of light stretching from the base all the way up through the crown of the head and beyond. Go to the crown of the head and relax the scalp and the forehead, the eyes, the nose, the cheeks, the mouth, back of the tongue, the back of the head. And allow your shoulders and shoulder blades just to drop down. Relax the throat and the chest and the belly and all of your limbs. And just, take in, become aware of any sounds in your environment and the potential for sound in your environment. And just notice that, try not to kind of run off to investigate when you hear a sound. Just allow the sounds to be there. And then notice, what's arising in your mind this evening. So whether you've just come out of a 1.5 hour meditation session or whether you've just come from making dinner or driving someone around, just notice the mind. And maybe check the difference between the mind now and the mind you woke up with this morning. And then bring to your awareness all the people of your life, starting maybe with the ones you love, very dear, precious friends, the ones you don't like so much, and your strangers. And remember, they're all equal in this wish to be happy, the wish to be free from suffering, and having this extraordinary capacity for a Buddha mind. So think that there is no negativity that can't be purified. And this purification process is basically a psychological one. We create negativity with our mind, so equally we can change it by creating positivity instead. So we start with this power of regret. So sincerely regret from the depths of your heart anything you have done to harm any living being in this life, or past lives, and think of it, specific actions of both your body and your speech, and then in general, regret all. The reason to regret is based on this logic of karma, and we experience everything due to our past karma, our past actions, and so having harmed others, we ourselves will necessarily experience suffering in the future. We cannot bear the thought of any kind of future suffering that we might experience. We know from our present suffering we don't want any more. So logically, it makes sense to remove these karmic seeds before they ripen as future suffering for us. So think like this: I regret from the depths of my heart having harmed others with my body and my speech, having broken my vows because I do not want the future suffering. I'm sick of suffering. And then also regret any anger, attachment, and the rest that are the cause of why we harm others, and then think again, I'm sick of this suffering, and then think, what can I do about it? Whom can I turn to? So here we come to this power of reliance, and we rely upon, we turn to the Buddha, who we see as a doctor. We don't see Buddha Vajrasattva as a higher power who has methods that we can use to purify. And we don't, we're not needing Buddha to forgive us. We're relying upon his medicine, his methods. So imagine Vajrasattva above the crown of your head. You can also imagine, this is the mind of your teacher manifesting in this form for your benefit. He's made of a beautiful, radiant, blissful white light, sitting cross-legged on a white lotus and a moon cushion. And he has a beautiful, radiant face. His eyes are long and peaceful and full of love and compassion for you and all those people of your life. And he has a sweet red mouth. His hair is black and held up in a top knot. His arms are crossed at his heart, the left underneath the right. The left is holding a bell representing wisdom, and the right is holding a vajra, which represents the indestructibility of compassion. And their being crossed represents the union of these two. And this symbolizes enlightenment itself, the development of infinite wisdom and infinite compassion. To the Buddha, the Dhamma, and the Sangha, I go for refuge until I'm enlightened by this practice of meditating on Guru Vajrasattva. May I reach Buddhahood so as to benefit all sentient beings. So now we have this little section on developing compassion. And this is in the reliance section on reliance, under that little umbrella. And the reason it's under reliance is because we need to rely upon other beings in order to develop compassion. The beings we've harmed, those who've harmed us, by developing a wish for them to be free from suffering. So think particularly of people you've harmed recently and in the past, and then in general, all beings we've ever harmed since beginningless time. And then think about those who've harmed you and have compassion for them, because the harm they've caused you is going to result in suffering for them sometime in the future. So make a strong aspiration to do this practice of purification for the sake of all these beings, and think, I must purify for their sake. So now we come to the power of the remedy, and this is the actual medicine doing the practice of purification. So we start with the body, and imagine Vajrasattva very compassionately sends powerful white nectar, like coming out of a hose, quite forcefully from his heart, and it arcs around and enters your crown and pours into your entire body, filling you completely, and it keeps pouring into you until it forces out of your lower orifices all the harm you've ever done to any living being with your body in the form of inky liquid, and this pours out of you and disappears into space, not one atom left, as we recite the mantra. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Drita Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hom Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Drita Meboa, Situkaya Meboa, Sipokaya Meboa, Anarakta Meboa, Sawasidi Membi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me, Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hom Ha Ho Bhagavan, Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata Ahom Pe, Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya, Vajrasattva Dina Patita, Drita Meboa, Situkaya Meboa, Sipokaya Meboa, Anarakta Meboa, Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me, Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Vajrasafa Samayam Nupalaya Vajrasafa Dina Patita Drita Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawa Siddhi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Vajrasafa Samayam Nupalaya Vajrasafa Dina Patita Drita Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawa Siddhi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Vajrasafa Samayam Nupalaya Vajrasafa Dina Patita Drita Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawa Siddhi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Vajrasafa Samayam Nupalaya Vajrasafa Dina Patita Drita Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawa Siddhi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe. So be delighted that all the harm you've ever done to any sentient being with your body is now completely purified, and think that there's no way you could do anything but benefit others now with your body. And next is our speech, and imagine Vajrasattva very happily sends powerful nectar from his heart chakra, and it arcs around and quite forcefully enters your crown and fills your entire body, except this time forcing up to the top of your body all the negativity of your speech, and this overflows and disappears into space, not one atom left. So you imagine that all the gossip and the harsh speech and the useless speech and lying and talking about people behind their backs and getting other people to agree with you, all of this is purified by this powerful nectar filling you as we recite the mantra. Vajrasattva Samayam Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawa Siddhi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samayam Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Drita Meboa, Situkaya Meboa, Sipokaya Meboa, Anarakta Meboa, Sawa Siddhi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me, Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan, Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe, Vajrasattva Samayam Nupalaya, Vajrasattva Dina Patita, Drita Meboa, Situkaya Meboa, Sipokaya Meboa, Anarakta Meboa, Sawa Siddhi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me, Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan, Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe, Vajrasattva Samayam Nupalaya, Vajrasattva Dina Patita, Drita Meboa, Situkaya Meboa, Sipokaya Meboa, Anarakta Meboa, Sawa Siddhi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me, Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan, Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe, Vajrasattva Samayam Nupalaya, Vajrasattva Dina Patita, Drita Meboa, Situkaya Meboa, Sipokaya Meboa, Anarakta Meboa, Sawa Siddhi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me, Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan, Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe, Vajrasattva Samayam Nupalaya, Vajrasattva Dina Patita, Drita Meboa, Situkaya Meboa, Sipokaya Meboa, Anorekta me boa sawa sidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva a hum pe ambajrasafa samayam manupalaya vajrasafa dina patita Drida me boa situkaya me boa sipokaya me boa anorekta me boa sawa sidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan Sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva a hum pe. So now feel your speech is completely purified and be really happy with that. And imagine it's not possible to do anything other than benefit others with your speech, including yourself, including what you write, including what you put on social media, how you communicate. So next is the purification of our mind, and Vajrasattva now very compassionately sends powerful beams of light from his heart chakra, and this arcs around and enters your crown and fills your entire being. So imagine you've walked into a room, it's pitch black, you flick on the switch and the light comes instantly. So it's the same here. The light from Vajrasattva's heart hits your heart chakra, and all the darkness of the negativity of your mind, all your attachments, neediness, bitterness, grudges, jealousy, anxiety, depression, all of this instantly dispelled, not one atom left as we recite the mantra. Om Vajrasattva Samayam Manupalaya Vajrasattva Nina Patita Drita Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anorakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samayam Manupalaya Vajrasattva Nina Patita Drita meboa, situkaya meboa, sipokaya meboa, anorakta meboa, sawasidi mimpi yatta sawa kama sita me, sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan, sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a hum pe, vajrasattva samayam manupalaya vajrasattva dina patita, Drita meboa, situkaya meboa, sipokaya meboa, Anorakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatta sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a hum pe vajrasattva samaya manupalaya vajrasattva dina patita drita meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa anorakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatta sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan Sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya satra a hum pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya vajrasattva dina patita. Drita meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa. Anorakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatta sawa kama sita me. Sitam shriyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan. Sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya satra a hum pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya vajrasattva dina patita drita meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa anorakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatta sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a hum pe vajrasattva samaya manupalaya vajrasattva dina patita Drita meboa, situkaya meboa, sipokaya meboa, anorakta meboa, sawasidi mimpi yatta sawa kama sita me, sitam shriyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan, sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva a hum pe. So be delighted that all your delusions, which are the source of all of our own suffering and the cause of why we harm others with our body and speech, are completely purified. And think now that there's no space in your heart for anything other than love and kindness and forgiveness and wisdom, and bliss and compassion. And now the purification of even the imprints of negativity of our body, speech, and mind. And this time imagine Vajrasattva sends, the nectar and the light, the nectar again pouring in from the top part, from your heart down, pushing out all the negativities of the body, from the lower part of the body, all the negativities of the speech being pushed up through the top parts of the body. And then the light comes and just kind of blasts all the delusions. So in this way, imagine this is happening all at the same time, and it fills you, this nectar and this light, and completely eradicates even the subtlest imprints of negative energy from your mind. Om Vajrasattva Samayam Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Drita Mebawa Situkaya Mebawa Sipokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mempiyatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tatagata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samayam Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Drita Mebawa Situkaya Mebawa Sipokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mimpiyatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tatagata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Drita Mebawa Situkaya Mebawa Sipokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mimpiyatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tatagata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Drita Mebawa Situkaya Mebawa Sipokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mimpiyatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tatagata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Drita Mebawa Situkaya Mebawa Sipokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mimpiyatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tatagata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Drita Mebawa Situkaya Mebawa Sipokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mimpiyatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tatagata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Drita Mebawa Situkaya Mebawa Sipokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mimpiyatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tatagata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe. So now feel completely purified. There's not one atom of negativity left in your mind stream. Even the subtlest obscurations to your enlightenment have been removed. And now we come to the power of resolve. And this is the fourth and final step in the purification process. And it's a really crucial one. This is this determination to refrain from harming with our body and our speech and our mind. So I rejoice in your efforts coming along here this evening, this morning, this afternoon, wherever you are. And then think of something maybe you'd like to work on. Maybe your speech. Even if you just want to, maybe you don't want to work on it, but you at least want to shine a light onto something maybe you're not aware of. And then imagine Vajrasattva is delighted with us, wants to merge with your mind and melts into white light and absorbs into you through your crown. And think, my teacher's body, speech, and mind, Vajrasattva's body, speech, and mind, and my own body, speech, and mind are the same. And next, Rinpoche would recommend to meditate a little bit on emptiness. So he would say like this: in emptiness, there is no I, the creator of negative karma. There is no action of creating negative karma. And there is no negative karma created. So whatever level you understand emptiness, place your mind there just for a little while. You can think of all phenomena as being empty. They do not exist from their own side. You can also think that the way things appear to me may not necessarily be the way they actually exist. So let's just dedicate all the merit, all the positive energy you've created doing this practice to all living beings, and think, may all the virtuous karma I've created from doing this practice ripen as my enlightenment for the sake of sentient beings as quickly as possible. And then let's just do the chanting the names of Manjushri, wherever we're up to. Beyond defeat, unmanifest, unmatched, not making manifest, appearance free, pervasive, timeless, fully omnipresent, minute beyond defilements, seed free, unstained, devoid of passion, passionless, controlling humors, free from every illness, by nature most awakened, fully awake, omniscient, knowing everything supreme, beyond reality as consciousness, pristine awareness, bearing non-dual form, beyond conceptualization, effort-free, acting as Buddhas do in every age. So let's make a strong wish for His Holiness the Dalai Lama to live long, for the swift return of our precious Lamas of Rinpoche, and for all of your own individual teachers to live long. And then think about maybe Shreyas, who's gone back to India to help with his father just passed, so he's helping with that. And then maybe anybody else that you know. Kimberly was in the previous session. She's not here tonight. So just strong prayers for Kimberly. And also my friend Linda's friend Rachel, who's just been diagnosed with cancer. It's kind of everywhere. Okay. All right.